So when we look at wealth inequality, one of the ways, the most consistent ways historically that Americans have accrued wealth is through mortgages and owning homes. When you own a home, a house is a very secure investment because it's a very secure thing, right? Unless there's a natural disaster or a fire, most of the time your house sticks around. And even if it doesn't, you have it insured generally. Homes also rise in value over the course of time. So it's a long-term steady investment in a way that people can secure their financial stability and secure their livelihood by having a place to live. The way to buy a home is to get a mortgage, which is a loan from a bank specifically to buy a house. Banks give out these loans under the agreement that you'll pay them back over the course of 30 to 50 years. And of course, you'll pay interest. So banks like it because they'll make money in the long term. And people like it because it allows you to move into a house now and then be paying for it for a long time and eventually own it. And then have that piece of value that you would be able to either sell at a higher price and have made money at the point of retirement, or to continue to live in and maybe pass on to a future generation. Now, when we look at, however, the rates at which people are denied for these loans, right? So you have to go into the bank and ask for one, even if it's not explicitly allowed to discriminate in who gets these loans based on race. We find that the implicit bias of people that work in banks who are in charge of approving or denying these loans comes into play. And the denial rates for people who are not white are significantly higher than they are for white people, particularly for African Americans. As you can see, over the last 20 years, the trend has been that the denial rates for Black and Hispanic people have been significantly higher than they have been for white people. This is true as well, federal housing loans as well. So even the government's loans that they give out to try to help people own homes have a degree of bias to them in the rates by which people are denied for them. This may attribute to why homeownership is significantly lower amongst Black and Latino people than it is amongst white people. This is true even in King County here, where we consider ourselves a fairly progressive city. As you can see, the home ownership rate, so this is the percentage overall of Black households and Latino households who own homes. And you can see it's been dropping significantly over the course of time, whereas the rate for white people and Asian people has stayed fairly consistent.